Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from TheRightTrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. I wanted to talk about the fact that cryptocurrencies are looking a little bit weak again, and is there reason for concern or not right now? We're going to cover all of that in a more detailed technical analysis on TradingView in just a second. Over the past 24 hours, we can see that cryptos, for the most part, have fallen around 2 to 5%. So no major drop, but definitely moving a little bit lower here, and we're coming up on some major support levels, right, where we're really at the edge of a pretty big drop here, especially for Bitcoin. So we want to ideally avoid, falling over that edge, because that will push us quite a bit lower. Now, don't forget to check me out on Twitter and to check out my premium content. I have a link to both those in the description of this video, and let's get started with the Bitcoin technical analysis. So as you can see, pretty big red candlestick right now for Bitcoin, and we're really coming in slamming right into our $6,500 support level. And after that, our next support level is all the way down to $5,000. So we have expanding Bollinger Bands right now, especially the lower Bollinger Band, that will allow more room for the price to fall lower in the short term. So there's definitely an opportunity here for the price to start falling towards $5,000. And if we don't see a strong bounce at $5,000, we're probably going to be heading for the major long-term uptrend support level, which is closer to $4,000. So definitely want to make sure that we stay above 6,500. It definitely looks like there's a pretty strong chance that we start dipping below that, and at that point I'd say that it becomes pretty likely, unless we get a bounce maybe at $6,000, that we're going to move all the way down to $5,000 and really flush out a lot of the weakness that's left. As for the indicators, definitely not looking super strong. We can see the RSI failed to break above the downtrend line, and we're now moving lower, closer to that 30 line. Drop below that 30 line on the RSI will be bearish. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum next and see what's going on. So Ethereum is also experiencing a relatively large red candlestick right now. We're going back towards that downtrend line, finding support on there. As for the indicators, we did manage to get positive crossovers recently, but that is looking like it's not necessarily going to hold right now, especially with Bitcoin pushing lower. As you can see, we did manage to break above the 30 line on the RSI, and we're actually now trickling lower along the downtrend line. So until we get a break above that 30 line, I'd say that we're going to be experiencing some weakness here for Ethereum and likely for other cryptocurrencies. So probably going to start trickling down lower, because we're really just at the edge of our support right now, and could see a pretty big drop as well here, closer to $330 next. So let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin and see what's going on. Litecoin has been in a different situation compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. As you can see, it's in this range here between $100 and its red downtrend line, but it's also experiencing weakness right now. We are getting closer and closer to that $100 mark. Probably going to have a little bit support near $110. So that's where we are basically right now, but I feel like we're definitely going to be testing $100 over the next few days, and we're probably going to be able to get a dip a little bit below that and test the long-term major support level, the blue uptrend line right below that $100 mark. So if you don't see a strong bounce off that $100 level, probably going to be going down to the major long-term support uptrend line, and then we really need to get a bounce there, because a drop below that would be extremely concerning and would really push us closer to anywhere from $60 to $40. As for the indicators, we tried to get a positive crossover on the MACD and histogram. That did not pan out, so that's pretty much failed for now. And as for the RSI, we're going straight back towards that downtrend line. Definitely a good chance that we go back below that 30 line unless we get some kind of bounce soon here. Let's take a look at Nano. So Nano is currently still in this range between 70,000 and 80,000 Satoshis. Pretty tight range right now, right? We're really consolidating around 75,000 Satoshis, and it looks like that's going to continue a little bit longer. If a lot of these other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin start to move lower, it's not going to be surprising to see Nano move back towards $70,000, and at that point would probably break below that and start moving closer to 60 or even 50,000 Satoshis. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ripple next. Ripple has been hanging around 50 cents for the past few days, and we're going to see if it's been moving lower now. So unfortunately, it does look like we're moving lower. We're currently trading at around 46 cents. Indicators all looking pretty weak right now. Not much going on in the MACD and histogram, and that RSI moving very quickly back towards that 30 line on the RSI. We got downtrending Bollinger Bands, downtrending middle band, slightly downtrending lower Bollinger Band, expanding lower Bollinger Band, I should say. So it looks like we have a pretty fair chance here, if we're going to get another big market drop, that Ripple is going to be heading all the way down to 30 cents, which is pretty crazy to think about, because that's basically where we got our breakout, which created the initial run-up, and we basically now erased all of that. With that being said, we never actually tested that breakout level, so that's something to keep in mind. Is usually, you know, in technical analysis, you always have to come back and test the breakout levels before moving higher, and we got such a mad run-up that we never actually came back and tested that breakout level. So hopefully we'll get a bounce off 30 cents and really not drop lower than that and start climbing back up from there. Would be a pretty interesting level to get back in. Of course, I'm not here to give financial advice. I'm just here to share my opinion, but it's definitely something to think about. Let's take a look at NIO and see what's going on. So NIO is quickly getting back towards that $43 mark. We've been waiting for NIO to test that level, and right now we have an expanding lower Bollinger Band. Middle band not too bad right now, and all of the indicators are relatively flat, except the RSI, which just dipped below that 30 line on the and basically I think that we have a pretty good chance of starting to move towards $30 or even $20, because I don't feel like this 30 line is going to hold, considering that we just dropped below that 30 line on the RSI, right? That's a very bearish signal, and I think we're in for a little bit more of a downtrend here for NIO, at least up until $20, right? That's our next big support level. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Stellar next, see what's going on. So Stellar is currently trading right below 3,000 Satoshis. Indicators not looking too bad, definitely taking a bit of a hit here, and we do have a slight uptrend going on, which is interesting for Stellar, but you can't expect it to do that well unless the rest of the market performs decently. So I'd say at best here some consolidation between 2,500 and 3,000 Satoshis, and that's actually pretty good considering what the rest of the market is doing right now. Let's take a look at Vertcoin next, see what's going on. So Vertcoin is currently in this tight little range between $1.54 and $2.20. Indicators actually holding up pretty decently here. Bollinger Band's relatively flat. We're coming back towards our middle band right now. So I'd say probably going to see a bit more consolidation between $1.54 and $2.20. What we want to pay attention to is, are we going to start moving below $1.54? That's where we're going to be experiencing a bit more of a drop, and definitely a possibility if the rest of the market falls lower. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lisk next and see what's going on. So Lisk is in this range between $6.24 and $10, really trading around $8. Indicators actually looking pretty decent here. Got a slight little uptrend on the MACD and histogram, same thing on the RSI really. And I think that we have a good chance of continuing a consolidation around $8. It already experienced a pretty harsh drop. So we'll see if it's done dropping for now, but like I said, if the rest of the market moves lower, we're probably going to be pushing towards $6.24 again, and a move below that would really push us closer to $4, which we really want to avoid. Let's take a look at Cardano next and see what's going on. So Cardano is in this very tight range between 2,000 and 2,500 Satoshis. Bollinger Band's very flat right now. The good thing with that is that it is, you know, an added support level, which is keeping the prices higher in this range. Indicators still managing to continue their slight uptrend, so definitely still holding up here for Cardano, but the question is, are we going to continue to be able to do so if the rest of the market gets weaker, right? We'll have to see, but for now it's definitely managing to sustain itself better than other cryptocurrencies out there. Let's take a look at IOTA next for our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update. And right now IOTA is dropping lower in this 90-cent range. Indicators not looking the strongest here, pretty flat on the MACD and histogram, and I'm just going to draw in our new short-term downtrend line on the RSI. We're moving back towards that 30 line. I think that we're definitely in for more of a drop here for IOTA, right? We have some support at 70 cents, 60 cents, 50 cents, but our next major support level is all the way down to 33 cents, right? So we'll have to see if we're really going to go that low, but I think we're definitely going to be moving towards 50 cents next, basically. With that being said, this is the end of the daily crypto update. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.